Greetings. I was supposed to get this out last week, but I ran into technical difficulties. So here it is, Parshas Bo last week. This week is Bishalach. Last week was Bo. And I'm going to play a little game. In the email, I sent you a picture of the 10 plagues, the Makos. And you should have that or, a children's Haggadah or something, the 10 pictures of the 10 plagues, so that you can guess. Now, the question here is, why these particular plagues? Why didn't, as number 7, why didn't Hashem cover the whole of Mitzrayim with peanut butter? All be stuck. Because they could eat it. Make it go away. So, once when I was little, I went into the kitchen and found the peanut butter jar. I put a big spoon in, put a big gob of peanut butter in my mouth, and I tried to swallow it. Got stuck. I couldn't breathe. What can I do? I was on the floor. I crawled over to the cabinet. I reached in, I got the jar of jelly, and I opened it, took the spoon, took a big gob of jelly, and that peanut butter just slid right down. I could breathe again. So that's why it's important to have jelly with your peanut butter. One time, a lot of you know this already, Ephraim was at our house in Beit Shemesh, and he was sneaking out from the Mirpeset through these metal bars. He got his leg and his leg and his arm, but not his head. So he starts screaming. And Eli goes out and takes a look, goes back in the kitchen, comes out with a can of Pam. He sprays Ephraim's head on this side and that side, gently pushes it through. I've been stuck in a few bars myself. I know what that's like. Okay, so I'm doing them out of order. These plagues came. Why these particular plagues? Each one had a purpose. It was a payback from Hashem for something that the Mitzrayim had done to the Jews. So, it's like somebody punches you in the nose, punch him in the nose. Don't go punching people in the nose. It hurts. But each of the things that the Mitzrayim did was done back to them by Hashem. And each plague teaches that lesson to the Mitzrayim, for those Mitzrayim who were able to hear it. And there were those Mitzrayim who came out with Moshe. They weren't Jews. They're called the Erev Rav. And they wanted to join Klal Yisrael because they knew this was the truth. Led to some problems. Okay, so number 1 is not done. Is out of order. The Mitzrayim took Bnei Yisrael, who were watching over their sheep, and made them build bricks, and all their sheep died. So which Makkah is that? Dever, the animal plague. Okay. Number 2. The Mitzrayim threw stones at Bnei Yisrael. How did they get hit with something hard? Barad, hail. Also, that's from the Midrash Tanchuma. The Koheles Yitzchak says that just as Bnei Yisrael had been forced to sleep outside with the animals when they were working, so now the Mitzrayim had to bring their animals inside to sleep with them so they wouldn't be killed by the hail. And a lot of the Mitzrayim did because they were starting to take Moshe very seriously. Number 3. This is a hard one. Paro had saras. In English, we call it leprosy, but it's not. It's a bad skin disease. Very uncomfortable. So his physicians said, you want to get rid of that saras? You must bathe every day in the blood of Jewish children. Is that a hard one? 1, 2, 3. Dum, da-dum, dum. Number 4. They made the Jews work day and night. Also, when they made a party, they'd place candles on the heads of Jews and say, you stand right there like a candlestick, and if you move, we'll chop your head off. Choshech, darkness. Number 5, they wouldn't let Bnei Israel wash themselves while doing all their hard work. They couldn't bathe, so their bodies were covered with sweat. And if your body is covered with sweat, you'll attract lice. Kinim. That's number 5. Number 6. They stole the crops of Bnei Israel. The Jews were growing their own food in the backyard, and they came along and stole the crops, stole the plants that they were going to eat, broccoli, lettuce, carrots, whatever. So, arba, grasshoppers, locusts, crickets, ate all of the Mitzrayim's crops. The Mitzrayim forced Bnei Israel to gather for them shekatzim and remasim, all just weird animals, reptiles, bugs, snakes, things like that. Tzvardeya, frogs. And the Mitzrayim were killing the Jewish boys by throwing them in the river. Makos Bechoros, death of the firstborn sons. The Mitzrayim would barge into Jewish homes, beat them, tear their children away to make them do work. They were acting like wild animals. Arov, wild animals. There's a Yiddish expression of wilde chaya. That's a kid who runs around the house all the time, screaming and yelling and doing crazy stuff. Wilde chaya. I used to be one of them. I know some other people used to be one of them, but I'm not going to say. And last, they beat Bnei Israel until they had bruises all over their bodies. Sheen, boils, red splotches erupting. They're very painful and dripping blood and oozing and blah, blah. Okay, so keep that in mind in about 2 months when you're sitting down to your Seder. If anybody wants that list, I can email it to them. So have a good week, and speak with you soon. Love you all. Bye.